Alright, yeah! Thank God for fantasy football. I'm Buster Brown, and the show is called Redemption Rehab. And if you tuned in today, it's for one reason. You want to start winning championships in fantasy football. Today, we're here on our website, fantasyfootballredemptionrehab.com. We're talking about our top wide receivers. We're talking about our sleeper picks, or if you really want to start winning championships, you're going to start to learn who's coming into the league from college. Well, guess what? Buckle up, get out your popcorn, and let's head over to the chalkboard
and check out the facts.
All right, here we are checking out our top picks at wide receiver for the 2020 NFL season. If you look over here, you can see we're on Fantasy Pros, checking out their top ranked players for 2020. It's early March, the combine just ended, and there are no rookies in these rankings. They'll have rankings with their rookies in it later this year. But who's our top wide receivers is what we're looking at. Right now, we're just looking at their top wide receivers. Let's check it out. As you can see right here, the top wide receiver in this year's ranking is Michael Thomas. Why is he the top rookie? If you come over here, you can see on RT Sports, they have what happened in last year's NFL season. Michael Thomas was the number one receiver, and he scored a whopping 375 points. That's huge. That's 100 more points than the second leading guy, Chris Godwin, in a PPR league. That's huge. So where do they have him ranked? Right there at number 3. So what does this tell me? If I have a top 5 pick, Michael Thomas is a viable player to be taken in the top 5 picks. You should consider it. I usually take one of these running backs. If I'm picking 5th or 6th and all my running backs are gone, I'm probably taking Michael Thomas. But you got to ask yourself, seeing how these are the rankings and these are how people ended up last year, who's the next best wide receiver? Well, I tell you what, they have it down as DeAndre Hopkins of the Houston Texans. As you can see right here, they have him going in the 8th position. I like DeAndre Hopkins, but I doubt that I can take him in the first round. Why? Look where he ended up last year. He ended up 5th. Look who beat him out. Cooper Kupp, he had a big year, who got drafted in the 4th or 5th round in most leagues, and I like him a lot this year. He got beat out by Julio Jones, who is also considered a first or an early second round pick, and Chris Godwin, a guy we recommended who was taken in the 4th round in most drafts last year. If you go back and look, you'll see that we suggested you take Chris Godwin early 3rd round. Let's take a look at some other wide receivers Fantasy Pros has listed as their top receivers. Davante Adams, good wide receiver on a good team with a good quarterback. Got hurt last year, never thought he was a first rounder, can't take him, gotta pass. Too rich for my blood. If he falls somewhere in the 2nd round, I'll probably nab him. I look for Green Bay to pick up some players to help score some points for them, because I can't be taking Davante Adams in the 1st round. Tyreek Hill, not in the 1st round, man. If he falls to me in the 2nd round, probably gonna be all over that. Don't like either one of these two guys in the 1st round. Next guy, Julio Jones, as you can see right here, he was the 3rd overall receiver, and they got him going at 13th pick, which is the top of the 2nd round. I think Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill, and Davante Adams should all be considered early 2nd round picks. If you get a chance, go get them, if they're healthy. What other wide receivers do I like? Can't suggest on Mike Evans. Why is Mike Evans going in this early? I don't know. To me, he's a 3rd round pick at best. I looked at his numbers. He played in most games. There's too many weeks where he put up single digits points. Not sure why, but can't do it in the 2nd round. Maybe middle of the 3rd round like last year, I'd do it. but I'm passing on Mike Evans, especially if they change quarterbacks, which I hear is going to happen. And the last wide receiver down here, wide receiver 8, Amari Cooper, they got late second round, maybe early third round. He hasn't signed yet with Dallas, but as you can see right here, man, he was top 10 right there, scored 246 points. I don't know. I can't see taking Amari Cooper in the second round or early third, so I'm going to pass. Let's take a look at some other wide receivers you could look at in the late third round or early fourth round. Okay, here we are back on Fantasy Pros, checking out their top wide receivers rankings for 2020. We're on wide receiver 9 right here, Kenny Golladay. Man, he had a big year. He's going at the end of the second round, beginning of the third. I checked out his numbers, and this guy's in a contract year, and we're going to nail him. If you get a chance to get Kenny Golladay, and maybe in the late third round or even in the fourth round, you better do it. He's a big-time player, and I say go get him. DJ Moore's the next wide receiver. Cam Newton, no good backup. Third round, really? Look, I got the guy at a 5th or 6th round pick like I did last year. He had a pretty good year. As you can see, there's his numbers right there. He finished 16th between Mike Evans and DJ Chark. So he did deserve to be ranked high, but I don't know if I could pull the trigger. If Cam Newton's healthy, I could see taking him in the 4th or 5th round, but I can't see pulling the trigger in the 3rd. I say wait. Let's take a look at some other wide receivers. Odell Beckham. What is the deal? How does Odell Beckham fall to the 3rd round? This guy's been a 1st or early 2nd round pick for years. You know what? He went to a new team, played with an injury. Is he still a good player? Yeah. Give him another year in an offseason with Baker Mayfield, and I'll tell you what, if you can get Odell Beckham in the 3rd round, do it. Also, Allen Robinson. They got him going mid to late 3rd round. He didn't even have a good quarterback throwing the ball to him, and he was catching double-digit targets every game. I'm telling you right now, late 3rd round, early 4th round, Allen Robinson is somebody I want on my team, and you should too, especially if Chicago upgrades at quarterback. Keenan Allen. He had a great year. Phillip Rivers is gone. They got him going mid-3rd round here at the end of the 3rd round. Here he is right here. Keenan Allen was number 6. I'll tell you right now, if Keenan Allen gets a decent quarterback, and I don't mean Tyrod Taylor throwing the ball to him, I could see taking him in the late 3rd or early 4th. But if he doesn't have a good quarterback, I'm just going to pass because you don't know. Phillip Rivers was pretty good, and he loved Keenan Allen, as you could see here by him finishing number 6 overall amongst wide receivers. Courtland Sutton. Wow. Didn't have a good quarterback throwing him the ball. He's going at the end of the 3rd round, maybe early 4th round. It's a little early for me, but I tell you what, if Courtland Sutton for some reason falls to late 4th round, early 5th round, I'm going to nab him. But I don't know about 3rd or 4th round. That's early 4th. That just seems kind of early for me, so I'm probably passing that early, but I do like him. And as you can see here, they got A.J. Brown. Whew, good rookie year. They got him going end of the 3rd round, early 4th round, according to this. Man, he had a pretty good year, but he's a rookie, and we don't know who the quarterback is. When Tannehill started throwing the ball to him, that's when he took off. So if they get back Tannehill and he's somewhere there, maybe late 4th, early 5th, I could see taking him. But right now, I don't know about middle of the 3rd, end of the 3rd round. That's a little bit early. He'd have to drop for me to take him, but he is going to have a good year if he stays healthy and he has a good quarterback. The next guy, I got to pass on Devontae Parker. You can't trust him. As you can see right here, had a pretty good year. Finished almost in the top 10. Basically was, a couple points away from Amari Cooper. But just too unreliable. Guy burned me in the past. I'm just going to stay away from him, and I suggest you do too because you just never know. Plus, he got paid, so back off. I do kind of like these next few guys. They were high on everybody's list last year, and I think they're going to have a pretty good year this year. Let's take a look at Stephon Diggs in the 4th round. If he's there in the mid-4th round, he'd be worth somebody I consider because he is a quality receiver. He's getting paid a ton of money, and he better produce. Even if he's not on Minnesota, he's still a good receiver because I hear he might get traded. So Stephon Diggs, I have to consider him in the mid-4th round, but I really like these next two guys, Smith-Schuster, and how about this guy, Cooper Kupp? Look what Cooper Kupp did. 4th overall. He's going at the middle of the 4th round. Nab him. He had a good year last year. His knee wasn't even healthy to start the season, but it is now. So we're going to tag Cooper Kupp in the 4th round. We also like Juju Smith-Schuster in the 4th round. If they get back Ben Roethlisberger and he's healthy, he loves this guy. So look for big things from Juju Smith-Schuster. Let's go take a look at some other wide receivers that you should be looking at the top of your list in 2020. Okay, here we are looking at Fantasy Pros Tier 6 wide receivers. We're looking at over here, as you can see, number 44, 45, 46, Robert Woods. That's the end of the 4th round, beginning of the 5th round. As you can see right here, Robert Woods finished 14th. He only had a couple touchdowns all year, but he caught over 100 balls. That's why everybody likes him. I'll tell you what, he probably is going to at least do that next year. I hear Brandon Cooks might be out of a job if he doesn't take a pay cut. That only means more balls for Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. 5th round's where I like to kind of start to think about tight ends, maybe 5th or 6th. But there's so many great wide receivers in this round. I like a lot of them. Let's go check out some more I really like. Like, how about Calvin Ridley? How about DJ Chark? Tyler Lockett? They all had good year last year. There's Tyler Lockett. There's DJ Chark. As you can see right here, Calvin Ridley made it into the top 30 wide receivers. He's going into the 5th round. He didn't play at the end of the year last year. I mean, he missed a ton of games. Had he played all year, he'd have been a top 20 wide receiver. We're suggesting you go after any of these guys I just mentioned. They could all have big years, and you're going to get a quality wide receiver in the 5th round. Let's take a look at some other wide receivers I like in round 5 and 6. How about this guy, Julian Edelman? They got him wide receiver 24. Where did he finish last year in a 12-man PPR? How about number 7? Check him out right here. He finished number 7 out of all these wide receivers in the NFL in fantasy football in a PPR scoring league. That's huge. And here he is going in the 5th round. If Tom Brady's throwing in the ball, he's a must-have in the 5th round. Go get him. Here's some wide receivers you can keep your eye on. They let everybody down, like Adam Thielen right here, wide receiver number 25. He was hurt a lot. He's still a good wide receiver. 5th round, maybe even the 6th round, I'm going to nab him because he's still a good wide receiver. DK Metcalf, wide receiver number 27. Not so sure about this 5th round designation. He had a good end of the year and he showed he could play in the league, but he's still a young player. Tyler Lockett's on the team. I can't see myself doing it, and I can't see myself drafting T.Y. Hilton. Man, I had T.Y. Hilton on the team last year, and he missed a ton of time. The guy always has soft tissue issues. He's going in the 5th round in a lot of leagues. I can't pull the trigger. Why? Because I got to have somebody that's going to play every week, and you can't count on him. So I'm going to pass. The last guy I want to show you in my top picks is this guy. He's here every year, and it's Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns. Look where he finished last year, number 12. He didn't score a lot of touchdowns, but he does catch a lot of balls, and he gets a ton of yardage. So I tell you what, if you can get Jarvis Landry, they got him going at the beginning of the 6th round, that's a steal. I'm telling you right now, get him. That'd be a great pick. Okay, there you have it. Those are my top picks for 2020. I gave you a list at least into the 6th round. If you get a chance, make sure you check out rookie wide receivers I got coming into the league and my sleeper picks at wide receiver for the 2020 NFL season. Only place to view those is on our website, www.fantasyfootballredemptionrehab.com. When you get a chance, check it out. I'm Buster Brown. The show is Redemption Rehab. Good luck.